Hey guys! Today we're going to be going over the 2022 AP Calculus answers this time, and let's get started into the video. Just a quick reminder that you can access these questions in the official PDF, which I have linked in the description box down below, or you can copy the link in the video shown right now and put it into your search bar. Just wanted to mention that this is not affiliated with the AP College Board. This is just a video going over all the answers, which we'll do right now. First is question 2a. This is a calculator question, so feel free to use one. And this is also a BC concept, and this one's all about parametrics. So we're given dx dt and dy dt, which is nice because we don't actually need to differentiate anything. And then it gives us information at time 4 and what point it is at, which is helpful for a start plus accumulation problem, which there's actually one coming up. Now, for question A, it just asks us to find the slope. The slope formula in parametrics will be dy dt over dx dt, and again, since it's already given, we can just plug it into the formula. So the slope will be dy dt, which is the natural log of 2 plus t squared, and then dx dt, which will be the square root of 1 plus t squared. And now we need to find the slope at time 4, so plug in 4 for t. So the slope at time equals 4 is going to be 0.701 as your final answer. Now, for the point breakdown, I think it's going to be 1 point for finding the slope, and then 1 point for plugging it in at time equals 4 and getting the correct answer. Now, for question 2b, we have to find the speed at time 4 and the acceleration vector. I'm going to try and find the speed first, which there is an equation for that, and that's going to be speed, which is the absolute value of velocity, is equal to the square root of dx dt squared plus dy dt squared. Now just plug in everything. I'm going to plug in the dx dt and the dy dt, which again is given. So now we have to find the speed at time 4. So 4 is going to replace all the t variables. Plug that into your calculator, and you get 5.035 as your answer. Now remember, we also have to find the acceleration vector. Don't forget the second part. So acceleration is going to be the second derivative of both the dx dt and the dy dt. So I can find the second derivative using my calculator. And so I just took a picture of my calculator and found the derivative at time 4, which is 0.970. And I did the same thing for the y component, and that is going to be 0.444. Now let's go back to our problem, and let's put down the x component that we found at time 4 and the y component as well, and that's going to be your answer for the acceleration vector at time 4. For the points, I'm thinking a point for finding the speed formula and plugging it in 4, and then another point for getting the correct answer. And similarly, for the acceleration vector part, I think it's going to be another point for getting the acceleration vector plugged in with all the units. And then the last point will be getting the actual correct answer, which is that. Next up for question 2c, we have to find the y-coordinate at time equals 6. To find this, we can use something known as start plus accumulation. In order to find y of 6, we can use some information the problem provided us prior, which is that at time equals 4, the particle is at the point 1, 5. So my start plus accumulation method will be y of 6 is equal to my start, which is y of 4, again that is given, plus the integral from my start time, which is 4, and my end time, which is 6. And that's all going to be y prime of t. Now we have to figure out what y of 4 is. Well, y of 4 is the y value, so we must look at the y value in the coordinate, which is going to be 5. Now, if it asks for the x component at time equals 6, then we would use x of 4, and then we would use the x value, which is 1. But because it asks for the y value, we must use the y value. Now, our y of 4 is going to be 5, and I'm just going to write down y prime of t, which was given, and that is the ln of 2 plus t squared. Plug that into your calculator to get 11.571. And for the points, I'm thinking a point for the start plus accumulation, so plugging in all those values, and the final point will be the correct answer to 3 decimal places. Now, the very last part, which is part 2D, we need to find the total distance. Again, this one uses a formula, so it's super easy. So my total distance will be equal to the integral from time equals 4 to time equals 6 of the square root of dx dt squared plus dy dt squared, and just plug in dx and dy dt, which again was given, and you'll get a value of 12.136. For the points, I think it's just going to be a point for getting the correct answer. Now that we're done with all of FRQ number 2, let's do the score predictions. These scores are my own, so these are not the official ones, and this is what you might need to get a 3, and then this is for a 4 and a 5. And also just a quick update that the AP College Board is actually revealing some score distributions right now on Twitter. They usually do so like 2 weeks prior to the score release date, which is July 5th this year. And so if you go on to Trevor Packer's Twitter, you can see all the percentages of who got what score, like a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. And you can kind of see where you might land based on those stats. So far, they haven't released any calculus ones yet, but stay tuned for that. Here are just some score stats for the AP Physics C Mechanics and the AP Spanish Literature. He's also posted a lot more, so be sure to check periodically throughout the day to see if your AP test is posted yet. And thanks for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you learned something new. Comment if you have any questions, and also if you took the AP language test and want to know the answers, then check out the video to the left. And if you want to know the answers to FRQ number 1 for the BC Calc test, then you can click on the video to the right. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned for my upcoming videos. I'll be posting the rest of these BC Calc FRQs. I'm kind of late to it, but it's okay. I'm still doing it. And then maybe my own AP score reaction on July 5th. I don't know if I want to do that, but we'll see. And then I also will be having a video on how to do research in high school, how to do well on the ACT, and a lot more videos coming up. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And yeah, bye everyone, and I hope you have a fabulous